Lincoln breathed in through his nose and exhaled from his mouth. My mind was stuck on what Dr. Lopez told me during our talk. She said I should try and keep an open mind because what I see in my nightmares is much different from what's really going on. Then she suggested I try to get in touch by my sisters by phone. The loud boy cast a wary glance at his house phone. I thought about calling them, but then I just imagined my sisters literally pulling through the phone to try to get me back home. Wait, so they attacked you for the phone? As in stuck their arm through the receiver? Yeah, Lincoln sat down on the side of the couch, was the furthest way from the kitchen. It was way too freaky. Clyde pierced his lips. No offense, Lincoln, but that sounds impossible. I mean, your life isn't like one episode of Spongy Joe where he tries to karate chop Stoney through the phone. Lincoln couldn't help but smile. That was funny. Clyde walked to the kitchen, opening the fridge. If talking on the phone makes you uneasy, you could always try texting. Lincoln raised an eyebrow. What good would that do? Can't hear them talking if it's just words. Clyde came back out with 2 sodas. I mean, what's the worst that could really happen? The words themselves jumping out of the screen and attacking you? He landed and handed one to Lincoln. Lincoln popped the can open before taking a sip. That does sound rather crazy. He stared at his reflection to the can, his eyelids dropping a little. You guys telling me that this is all just in my head, but I can't stop thinking about the worst. Even just then you came home, I had a daydream. Daymare while I was awake. Even Dr. Lopez didn't give much of an answer how I can make them stop. Lincoln leaned backwards. Makes me wonder if I'll eventually go crazy. Not necessarily. In situations like this, it's something you'll have to figure out on your own. Clyde sipped his drink, giving a small burp. He covered his mouth immediately. Excuse me, at least. That's what she keeps telling me. But still, just try and see how it works for you. Lincoln swung his foot over to let Clyde's words sink in. Considering how unrealistic his dreams appearing to be, it would be foolish of him trying not anything in order to break the ice. The white-haired child looked over to his phone, feeling uncertainty of swelling in his chest. Lincoln flared his nostrils as he fought down his anxiety, reaching towards the small device. At Giovanni's Chain's Italian-Chinese Baristo, the Louds were all enjoying their dinner. Royal Woods was well known for having alleged fusion restaurants that included a mix of, sometimes vastly, different cultures. One example was Jean Juan's French Mex, or lesser known as the restaurant called Aloha Comrade. Such restaurants tend to stand out better than their typical single culture competitors, thus getting more monetary to attract a wider range of customers. Being that it was the first time the Louds had eaten there, it had lightened the mood a bit for them to this degree. Still, it enviously shared and wished that Lincoln would enjoy this with them. While everyone else was busy chatting, Lori was idly browsing for her phone. Since their punishment had lifted, most of the parental settings had been removed from the small device. The only one that remained was a plug-in that blocked explicit content. Lori didn't mind it though, since most of her phone functions available to her. One thing that still remained was her social life was in the gutter. It wasn't like she could text Roberto all day, since they had remained separated for almost a month. Added on to that, much of Lori's social circle refused to speak with her for weeks. The teen considered Lynn and Luna, by extension, to be lucky at least one of their friends decided to stick by their side, even if they decided that she was worth talking to again. It will have to be some miracle, because all Lori had was herself and her sisters, and that was important. Not taking her eyes from the phone, Lori lazily reached for her drink when she started taking small sips from it. She guided her fingers over to the iTube app, hoping to watch some videos that could put her mind to ease. However, right as she was about to activate the app, her phone buzzed as a text message icon appeared. Raising an eyebrow, she wondered who on earth would be speaking to her now. Opening her message box, saying Lori was surprised to be the biggest understatement of the year. As soon as the 17-year-old saw the name on the message, she promptly spit out the soda she was drinking. Unfortunately, as she spat to where Luann was sitting, the comedian was eating some breadsticks when Lori suddenly spat on her. The brunette looked at her ruined shirt before casting a hard glare. Gee, can I get some ice with that? She rubbed her face with a napkin. Lynn and Lynn Sr. held their mouths to stifle their laughter, prompting lead Rita to glare at them. Any reason for that spit, sis? Luna asked. Instead of speaking, Lori fumbled with her phone and turned the screen to the rest of her family. Upon getting a good read at it, they had a similar reactions that ranged from rare, nearly choking to having their mouths being hung open, leaving bits to fall out. On Lori's phone was a message that had been sent from Lincoln, and all was a simple, short message. Hi.